a difference 24 hours makes. Well, Tropical Cyclone Harold took a jog to the east and tore through Vanuatu as a Category 4 hurricane, a Category 5 Australian tropical cyclone, and it even intensified to become a Category 5 hurricane level strength intensity system as it passed over the final island of Pentecost. This is the island of Pentecost, and it's kind of a long, narrow island, but you can see that the storm, as I'm speaking now, has the worst of it has passed the Vanuatu Islands and is now heading off towards Fiji, although not directly. The satellite-based intensity is at extraordinary levels. It's well into the Category 5 at 155 knots, and it must surely be one of the strongest storms seen in this region, perhaps ever. I have to check the records, I'm not sure. The official current estimate from Joint Typhoon Warning Center is 135 knots, which puts it at 155 miles an hour. If it were 155 knots, then it would be 178 miles per hour sustained, 1 minute sustained. The intensification to become a Category 5 occurred just prior to making landfall on Pentecost. Obviously it did a lot of damage on other islands prior to that, but Pentecost will have received most likely the strongest winds of all. And as you can see, if you read the description for a Category 5, we're looking at major roof failures on many residents, obviously flattening of trees across a large area of the island. It's going to be a very, very big mess up, and we may have to wait time for the news to catch up on this one. No, it's me playing catch up. The BBC are on this. They've got the superstorm hits Vanuatu, and I didn't know that 27 people died in a ferry in the Solomons too. That's terrible. I want to look at a couple of things. The first is the track deviation that occurred prior to the first landfall. And the second thing is the path of the storm through the islands and where probably received the worst damage, or the swath of damage. So first of all, it's the strange deviation in track prior to landfall. And here shows the 24 hours leading up roughly to landfall. And the storm center seems to have reformed, the eye developed, and then it headed on to landfall on Espiritu Santo. And clearly this was associated with an intensification period. But, I wonder whether there was some topographic effects going on here as well. Anyway, it was clearly a big shake-up in the storm that occurred and then headed in to this region. If we jump forward a bit in time, looking at the infrared, you'll see the storm adapting to the land really incredibly. Watch the eye almost disappear and then reform and rapidly intensify over, leading to this destructive landfall. Pentecost. The other thing to consider in terms of the damage is the fact that the northern side of the storm should have the stronger winds because it's in the same direction as motion, so the storms kind of the winds add on to the motion of the storm. So the worst impacts look to be on this coast and then in here. I'm not exactly sure that the infrared lines up perfectly in location, so anyway, you get an idea as to there must have been some very, very severe waves, wind, and storm surge here, and then particularly severe winds, even worse, on Pentecost. So now we have the track of the storm, so we can zoom in and have a look at the region that probably got hit by that side of the eye wall. And here we're zooming into Espiritu Santo, and this is the track, is this grey thing here. So, yeah, it looks like it's a sparsely populated area, mountainous. This mountain is over 1,700 meters. There are some communities down here that probably got hit pretty hard. They look like real small communities. They also look like very isolated small communities, so local folks. So that's Espiritu Santo. What about Pentecost? Pentecost, the storm came in, and there's an airport here, and it looks like there's a bit more things going on here. Some towns and whatnot. Are they? Or are these small communities? Villages and towns. I'll check the map and just see where the main place is. Looking at the map of Pentecost, it does look like there is a place, Mel Sisi, which has likely been very severely impacted by the storm. And here is Mel Sisi. Let's zoom in. Yeah, that's a town there. So anyway, just wanted to have a quick look at that, and that's it from me. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video or learned something new, then you may find other videos on this channel of interest. Hitting the like button and subscribing really helps to support this channel. To get the latest videos, don't forget to enable all notifications.